Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online Series 8 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we're trying out a really interesting team that was submitted to me by a player called The Main Event, who actually has a YouTube channel, so please go check him out, linked in the description below. This team, as you see, has a weakness policy Miltank as well as a Lunala, and we haven't used Lunala yet on the channel, and I was looking for a Lunala team to try out. I think after Lunala, Cure and Black might be the last serious restricted Pokemon in Series 8 for us to try. Then maybe we'll, I don't know, use some meme teams like Cosmog or whatnot towards the end of the season, but I wanted to at least feature every, serious restricted Mon once, and so we're almost down with that checklist, which is kind of wild. And so this team has a lot of interesting components. I mean, one, it has a Miltank. I've never seen Miltank in Series 8. I feel like in VGC in general, like the only time I've seen Miltank is maybe in Draft League. So it's really intriguing to have a Miltank here. And then Lunala as well was not something that's very common in Series 8. Quite frankly, Ghost plus Psychic typing just doesn't really cut it, especially because of the number of Dark type and Ghost type attacks you're going to run into. Incineroar and Calyrex Shadow Rider being so high up there in usage already makes Lunala's life a little bit more difficult. But, I figured I want to at least try it out at least once. I've also seen other Lunala sets either with Weakness Policy or even the Meteor Beam with Power Herb. And so this is just one of the Lunala teams that I've seen, but definitely wanted to try it out because I think it just also is pretty fun. And, obviously I like to feature really competitive teams and try to give you as much education as possible, but sometimes I like to try out stuff that's really unorthodox and kind of see how it goes. With the Players Cup 3 regional qualifiers stream taking place this weekend, which I'm commentating by the way, so details for that are in the description below. After the weekend, I figure I'll probably try out some super competitive, super strong teams from the Players Cup 3 that was used by, the whoever made it into the finals. And so I think, we'll have definitely a slate of very solid competitive teams to feature after the weekend. But yeah, just wanted to try out Lunala and Miltank, so let's see how things go. Thanks once again to the Main Event for the team. Check them out, linked in the description below. And question of the day, with us using Miltank, I want to know what your favorite Gen 2 memory is. Anything that you can remember or associate with Gen 2 in the comment section below. My answer would be, as a kid, I didn't even realize, my mind was blown. I actually played Emerald first, so Gold and Silver were my second games, but it was, mind-blowing to me when I finished, the first 8 badges and realized there was another 8 badges that I could do, basically, and go to Kanto. That was just, the wildest experience to me as a kid, so that would be my answer. Either way, thanks as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoy, and let's get started. Alright, what do we got here? Inteleon. Okay, definitely have to watch out for Soak. Miltank has Scrappy here. AV Metagross might actually be the play. I don't think we can really do much with the Miltank here, but we can max Metagross and Quake. I actually could go Whimsicott Lunala, because Lunala can max and Phantasm into Dragapult. That's actually kind of interesting. I like Metagross in the back. Might need Incin just for Zacian. This is not a Miltank game. They have Zacian. That alone discounts it, I think. Alright, I think we play around Lunala and Metagross in this one. So Lunala gets to come out. The thing is, I can always just Tailwind. Would you go Dragapult here? Probably not. But if they do, that's honestly not bad for us, because we can just Tailwind max the Lunala and Phantasm. And then the Tailwind also sets up for the Phantasms get the defense drops. That sets up Metagross for later. Yeah, I think you definitely don't want to be bringing Miltank out if it can't pick up huge KOs quickly, and our move pool just does not allow us to actually do that here. Especially with Zacian alone, Zacian just completely crushes us, and we don't do any damage to it in return. So yeah. The thing with using fun stuff like Miltank is you have to assess when it's actually appropriate to bring out and when not, so you don't want to just force it in every game. I mean, you could play Pokemon that way, but if you're trying to win every match and maximize your odds, you should never try to just force the same strategy over and over again. You want to play flexible. So what do we got here? Dragapult. Okay, I'm actually very happy to see that. Unless it's Scarf Coal. That's my only fear right now. But Lunala gets to come out, which is pretty sick. So I'm leaning really towards just Tailwind and Phantasm turn 1. That denies you Surf. Let me just double check Lunala actually outspeeds under Tailwind, but it should. Yeah, 298 for sure. So I'm two things nervous about here. Scarf or Sash Dragapult. A lot. I mean, Dragapults on these teams run a lot of different items nowadays, so I'm really not sure what my opponent's going to opt for here, but Protect is not very common, so Phantasm is a relatively free opportunity. They should have Zacian in the back as well, so that's not really a good switch in. We max. Yeah, I mean, let's say I went with Miltank Hitmontop here. What in the world do I do? Mach Punch, Max Strike turn 1? Yeah, Miltank just doesn't have damage into the Coal. If we had a... Oh, actually, we do have Max Quake. So theoretically, I actually could have gone Hitmontop Miltank, Mach Punch, Max Quake turn 1. But if Dragapult just Will-O-Wisps us, that's no good. Because I think if Miltank gets burned, you're basically doomed. Its attack is already pretty mediocre. But we're finally using a team with a restricted legendary. Let's niche. Let's not just a weakness policy. Although with Lunala, you could definitely run something with like not Breaking Swipe, the Dark Spread type attack. Okay, so no ally switch. We're just hoping no Sash now or Scarf on the Pult. I feel like the odds of it being one of the two are decent. Okay, no Scarf, that's good. We get Phantasm off, that's good. That looks like Sash. Okay. Maybe Miltank plus Hitmontop was actually the call then. Yeah, they're gonna get the Surf off. You know what I could have done? I could have gone Fake Tears. Wait, yeah. I should have gone Fake Tears. And just double to Colt, because then you take so much more damage from Surf, and then Lunala just KOs you. Wait, that would have been sick. They're gonna Vocalith here into Whimsicott? No, into Lunala, okay. Well, we take that pretty well, actually, so it could be worse. Yeah, Fake Tears actually was definitely the play that turn. Just double up onto Cole. That would have been sweet. I'm a Fake Tears now. And Phantasm. So it was Sashed in the end, unfortunately. That's not super surprising. Drag switches out, that's fine with me. Zacian, that would make sense. Yeah, so we have Incin in the end game, which is somewhat valuable. Okay, they don't protect Cole, which is good. I mean, I would think we KO here at -2 Spadef. Oh, interesting. Wait, do we speed tie? No. Our Phantasm went off first last time. Never, we just outspeed. Okay, that's huge. Nice. Good stuff, Lunala. Who needs weakness policy when you have Fake Tears? The reason I thought we speed tie was because I was like, wait, why did they go first last time? But they didn't go first. We went first. So, their, yeah, Coalossal isn't fast enough to outspeed us even at +6, which is actually a really, really big deal for us here. Because that means Cole only got 1 attack off at the end of the day. Rillaboom. Okay. I mean, we have Max Flare. This Lunala is putting in the work right now, actually. I'm very happy about how it's played out. 2 turns of Tailwind, 2 turns of Vocalith. -1 defense. We have Max Flare. They don't know that. So I lean towards switching into Incineroar here. That gets an Intimidate off immediately. And just launch a Max Flare off into Zacian. That works for me. Could have also Max Guarded, but I don't know. I feel like I should just utilize my Max. I just don't know if Max Flare one-shots Zacian, but... I don't know. Like, the thing about Lunala is I don't know how many people expect its move pull either. Let's see if Zacian protects here. Nope, it doesn't. We survived the glide. Beautiful. Life Orb Rillaboom. That's interesting. I mean, if this KOs, we definitely just win the game, right? So let's see. Max Flare. Okay. Survives with the Sliver, but that's fine. I can't complain. Because we have Fake Out next turn. They just Behemoth Blade. That's fine. I was wondering if we could one-shot there into either of my opponent's mons, but yeah, this is okay. Ooh, that's so much damage though still. Sheesh. Oh, that was a crit, that's why. Okay, not ideal, but it is what it is. The good thing is at least we heal a little bit back from the grassy terrain, so we're not losing as much HP as we would normally. We still have 1 turn of Tailwind. Double Protect is a relatively safe play on my opponent's end this next turn. We still have Metagross in the back too, which actually bodes very well for us. So actually, we have Bullet Punch on Metagross, which is very good for us in this endgame. So I'll tell you what the best play here is. It's to Fake Out Zacian, because I don't really care about Rillaboom right now. And it's to switch Lunala out, because I think in this position, my opponent knows that my Tailwind's about to expire, but Metagross can just Bullet Punch in this endgame. So I'm just going to launch a Fake Out here into the Zacian, switch this out into Metagross. Rillaboom at -1 really shouldn't be able to threaten Metagross. I also could have, like, of course I could have gone Fake Out into Rillaboom Heat Wave this turn, but if my opponent double protects, then I actually lose a lot of momentum going into the next turn. So I might as well capitalize the fact that I have the opportunity to Fake Out right now, right? And they actually protect Rillaboom, but not Zacian, so that's even better for us. Nice. I wonder if Fake Out can KO here? Yeah, it's a little ambitious. Without the Grassy Terrain recovery, actually would have, though. But yeah, now we're in great shape, right? Because we actually have Bullet Punch on Metagross. So shoutouts to Lunala. It was actually really, really good here. Yeah, and I mean, the Whimsicott Fake Tears was really critical as well. So the combination of that really helped us out. And like I mentioned, my opponent bringing Rillaboom actually benefits us a little bit because we're actually healing a sizable amount. So Tailwind Peters out, but this is where Bullet Punch comes in handy. We can just Blitz now into Rillaboom, Bullet Punch into Zacian. Even if Zacian protects, Rillaboom has to crit a knockoff or a high horsepower to have a chance of KOing Metagross. And as long as Metagross stays on the field, it actually should win us the endgame completely because we eliminated Coalossal so early on. So they're not going to protect here. We get that priority Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch is not very common on Metagross as well. So, you know, one thing this team does well is that it has a lot of just unexpected moves. It is going to be high horsepower here, targeting the Metagross. So my opponent correctly identified they needed to go for a crit. Does not get it, and Incin should get the KO here. So, yeah, this played out really well for us, even though it ended up being Sash Dragapult in the end. It was just big that we outsped the Coalossal under Tailwind and, you know, just prevented them from getting any more damage off. I think if they had max guarded Coalossal that turn, it could have been really, really bad for us, but my opponent was probably expecting to outspeed us. I was expecting them to outspeed us, to be honest. So the fact that Lunala stood around and got a third attack off in that max flare into Zacian was super, super sweet for us. So, we take those. Alright, there's Pult, and yeah, all we have to do is click Bullet Punch now. And that's game. Sweet. Yeah, I think if I were to replay this, I don't know, Fake Tears and just max Psychic into Cole feels like a better play to me on turn 1. Because then the Coalossal just insta-faints, right? I don't know, though. I mean, well, it does pave the way for Metagross. See, they did have Will-O-Wisp, so, like, if I led Miltank, I don't know how good it actually is. Because you can just Will-O-Wisp us instead. Yeah, so they were modest, not timid. Scald! Whoa, okay. I didn't even know Coalossal could get Scald. Goggles, Soak, yep. Life Orb, Rillaboom, yep. AB Thundurus, Standard, and then Zacian with Wild Charge instead of Play Rough or Substitute or Sword Stance. That's pretty cool. Wild Charge helps against, you know, like Kyogre, for example, and Flying types too. But not very common. Either way, great debut for Lunala, honestly. I didn't think it put in that much work, but it was absolutely the MVP there. But Whimsicott was obviously a really important partner for it there, right? It allowed us to set up the Tailwind. We also had Fake Tear support. And yeah, that's why sometimes you might want to run Timid Coalossal over Modest. But I know most players opt for Modest these days. This looks like a Coalossal team. Like, take away Regieleki, throw in Coalossal, feels super standard, but there's no Coalossal. It's not the day for Miltank, unfortunately, with us running into double Zacians in a row, so that's sad. I mean, it feels like we should play towards Lunala, but Dragapult Amoonguss scares me, right? My opponent also has Incin, so you could go like Incineroar. I don't know what the right approach here is. I could, of course, go Whimsicott Lunala. If I'm my opponent, I feel like Incineroar plus Dragapult feels like a really strong lead. So I'm thinking, how do I counter Incineroar plus Dragapult? I don't really see a great answer, but... especially because my Whimsicott can't... not having Protect here is not good for us. Incin, Lunala. Okay, I can actually get behind this. Whimsicott. Probably Metagross again. There's too much physical damage here between Dragapult and Zacian, though, which scares me a lot. And we just, yeah, the last two matchups have been abysmal for Miltank. I just don't think you can bring Miltank out if your opponent is Zacian. It's just like, you're just asking to lose at that point. But we get to play towards Lunala today, so that's cool. I'm just a little sad because I really wanted to get as much Miltank action as possible, but these first two games are not it for it. That's Amoonguss plus Incin, okay. Amoonguss plus Incin, I have Incin Lunala. I mean, this is not that bad. I guess this is the problem with Lunala, though. Just Incineroar alone gives it so much trouble. I guess Miltank actually could have been okay here. Question is, what item are you on Amoonguss? Because I could obviously max Lunala, max Psychic into this thing. But Amoonguss protecting feels likely. Max Metagross. Man, I didn't think about how much of an issue my opponent's Incineroar would be alone. I would think you have Dragapult, Zacian in the back. If I'm my opponent, what am I doing? Protecting Amoonguss turn 1? I guess it's fine to fake out. Oh, we don't have Psychic. Oh, shoot. That's actually a really big issue. Uh-oh. I'm actually just going to protect then because we, yeah. I mean, we have Max Flare. Ooh, they switch. Okay, into Zacian. Can you imagine if I flared into that slot? I really should have. That would have been like game winning. That's a really good switch for them at the end of the day, but man, was it risky. Yeah, they did Darkest Lair. We do have Colbur, though. I don't know, man. I'm kind of content to Dynamax Lunala and just Flare right now, straight up. Going to Whimsicott here. I guess you could just Behemoth Blade and Darkest Lariat into Lunala, though. That does so much damage. Is it worth sacking Metagross? Actually, I don't even know if Metagross would faint to that, but... I don't feel like this is the right play. Because I think if I'm my opponent, I'm always doubling up on Lunala right now. So... I should have capitalized off the fact that my opponent would be nervous about Lunala Max Psychic. Now, we obviously don't have it, but they don't know that. So I could have gone for Airstream or a Psychic turn 1, and that, or Max Flare, and that would have put us in a really good spot, actually. So, kind of a shame. Yeah, forgetting that we didn't have Max Psychic made me panic a little bit, and I definitely played too passively for how the lead matchup looked. Because Lunala is really good into this lead. Yeah, so if I'm my opponent, I think they should just Blade and Darkest Lariat into Lunala. Let's see. Oh, sweet, they close combat. That's actually such a big deal, honestly. Because it means we survive the turn and we take so much less damage with Lunala, and now we pressure with Tailwind. Maybe they Flare Blitz into the Whimsicott switch in, but Whimsicott is a little bit bulkier, too. They probably just aren't expecting Max Flare to come out here. Nice, and that gets the one-hit KO. Okay, that's actually such a big deal. Let's go, Lunala. Let's go. That also now, I think now we definitely guarantee a KO onto Amoonguss. And there's the Colbur Berry. Beautiful. Munch, munch, munch. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't really split up their damage. Or sorry, double up. Look how little Lunala takes. Because of that, like, that's why it was probably smart to just max Lunala turn 1. But I thought Amoonguss Protect and Incineroar Snarl Parting Shot into Lunala felt very likely there. They didn't want my special attack to get dropped. But, hey, Lunala's actually looking pretty good right now. And I think one of the upsides of using this Pokemon is people just don't know its full move pool, so we've been able to max flare 2 Zacians in back-to-back games, right? That's pretty sweet. Amoonguss comes out. Honestly, I think in this position, Amoonguss protects all the time. Is there even a point in Tailwinding? Yes, there is, because their last one's probably Dragapult. I mean, boy, do I want to Airstream into Incineroar here, because I just can't see Amoonguss not protecting. But if I actually ignore Amoonguss, that's really bad, and it actually gets a Spore off, that would be bad news for us, right? And I do need to get damage onto Incineroar, so... I'm going to make the read, because they switched out turn 1, which indicates to me they're probably not sashed. I'm going to read that Amoonguss protects here. Nice. I was a little bit nervous to make that read, but I don't know. I feel like if you're bringing Amoonguss, you're always bringing it out as bait here this turn. So I do need to maximize my... Because the thing is, I actually kind of struggle to deal damage into Incineroar. So I need to get as much as I can on the board right now. And that's a big Airstream, right? Any other like one more attack plus Earthquake from Metagross should finish that off. So that's a good turn for us. Parting Shot, though, which indicates to me I think Dragapult comes out now. And then with Dragapult out, you could switch Amoonguss back out into Incineroar. So even though we KO'd Zacian, this still is very far from over. Because our late game offense is Metagross. Which is, eh. Yeah, there's Pult. Can't fake tears. Moonblast. That's nice. I want to just Moonblast Phantasm Dragapult here. Is that the right play? I haven't revealed my full moveset yet, but they should know. Yeah, I mean, Dragapult's just tough, right? You one-shot us with our ability? I'm not 100% sure. It is 4x super effective, though. That's scary. Moonblast is pretty valuable for us right now, which is good. I just don't know about our late game here, especially with the Amoonguss redirection support. They don't switch Amoonguss out. Okay. So that indicates two things. It's either going to be a Rage Powder or a Taunt. Sorry, Spore. Rage Powder feels more likely. Now, you can't Rage Powder away from the Whimsicott, so we still get a Moonblast into Dragapult, which is nice. I didn't want to Flare into Amoonguss there or Phantasm into it because it could so easily switch out into Incineroar. That's really bad news for us. Oh, that was such a good play. That was such a good play on their end. Really, really well done. I probably could have won if I doubled up onto Amoonguss there then with Taunt plus Flare, but that's a really risky play. I don't feel that bad about that though. I mean, just that's like really expertly maneuvered by my opponent there. Okay, so you probably Phantasm now. You still have to respect Lunala as a threat. I have Incin. That's not bad. We don't have great damage output. I feel like I should really conserve Whimsicott. It's just that you could always Phantasm here, but like, do I switch Whimsicott out? I don't know. It feels really weird. I think the better play would have been to taunt Amoonguss and then Phantasm with Lunala into the Dragapult slot last turn. That was just a really, really good max guard into Spore. Well done. That is so much damage. Holy crap. That was a crit, that's why. Okay, we take a turn of sleep. Phantasm, yep. I mean, that question also is, do you have Sludge Bomb right now? And yeah, I mean, Lunala gets one shot, unfortunately. That crit actually might be game-changing. Depending on what Amoonguss does here. Do you have Sludge Bomb is my question. Ah, they have it. That's unfortunate for us. That will probably be a good game then. Oh, I didn't cover for Max Guard Spore, but Amoonguss switching on. I don't know if I had to play like covered for every option that turn. Max Flare Amoonguss. They have protected the last turn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think we outspeed Pult with these, unfortunately. They only have one turn of Dynamax left. Oh yeah, we're definitely not outspeeding Pult. You just Phantasm now into Metagross and win the game. I can hope for them to throw in Wormwind Incineroar for some reason. Fake out into Amoonguss. Iron Head into Dragapult and then Earthquake. Gives us the slightest chance, but you could always switch Amoonguss. That Max Guard Spore play was just game winning. And I could imagine if I like taunt Max Flare into Amoonguss there. Ooh, that would have been sick. I think the best play maybe was to taunt Amoonguss and Phantasm into Dragapult, but I really thought Instant Switch was happening. But I guess you either need a Rage Powder always. That's an interesting Max Guard. I feel like maybe we have an out now. I guess they're just covering for the option of being really speedy, but like, because we have Tailwind up, right? But I don't know. I feel like that benefits us more than anything. So I'll take it. Sunlight fades though, which means I can't really KO Amoonguss. Yeah, it's a shame they actually had Sludge Bomb. That was the main problem here for us. Now if you're my opponent, what do? Switch Amoonguss out into Incin, or do you just stay in? Because if you stay in, Metagross could actually pull this off. Well, you should Phantom Force down to Metagross, and I would switch Amoonguss out into Incineroar. I don't think I have counterplay to that, so I can hope for them to mess up and stay in with Amoonguss. I'm going to just Blitz and Iron Head it. But I think you should switch Amoonguss out right now. I don't think I have counterplayed a Phantom Force Metagross, switch Amoonguss out into Incineroar right now. So I'm basically relying on my opponent to make suboptimal plays. Actually, they should just fully prioritize my Metagross, because they should realize that my Incineroar is not going to damage their Incineroar in the end game here. Yeah. I needed to make better use of my Lunala in this one, but that's okay. And they correctly identified the switch. Yeah, well done. I mean, I could have Earthquaked, but, like, I don't know how... Well, I had Rock Slide. Maybe Rock Slide Blitz was better there. Unless for some reason they, like, don't Phantom Force here into Metagross. But, yeah, Phantom Force is always just, like, a guaranteed win here in the end, I think. Because you can Fake Out Metagross, too. And it's like, I can't protect in front of the Fake Out, right? So, yeah, my opponent identified the right endgame scenario here, so kudos to them. Yeah, we just do no damage. I just needed to utilize the Lunala better. That was such a good Spore play on their end. Yeah. Well done. I mean, Dragapult, not exactly the easiest matchup for us here, for sure. But, you know, when you use more obscure Pokemon, you definitely have tougher times against, like, specific Pokemon. The reason why the best Pokemon are the way they are is because they have really good coverage and can give you favorable or neutral matchups against, like, majority of the things you'll run into, right? I guess Snarl, Rock Slide. If for some reason Life Orb, like they Fake Out. They didn't go for... Does this one-shot us? Wait, hold on. They did not go for Fake Out there, which I actually think is a really big mistake. I think they just threw the game. Wait, we need to hit Snarl. Please hit Snarl. Yeah, I mean, this is why you play to your outs. I think it's a really big mistake to not Fake Out Metagross. Because at that point, the only way I can win the game is through Metagross, right? Your Phantom Force will always go through my Protect. So, wow, we're actually going to win this one, but... Yeah, I have to say, I mean, it's very easy to throw in Pokemon. Like, I've done it all the time. It's just something you have to, you know, work on as you play the game, but that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Because I don't think they have damage into Metagross now. There's no reason to not Fake Out there, in my opinion, into Metagross, because my Incineroar is never doing anything, right? So I guess they were probably going for a parting shot onto Incineroar, or maybe they just timed out, but I think it's always the correct play to target Metagross and Fake Out, because you know your Phantom Force is going to get guaranteed damage onto that slot, right? And if it doesn't KO, well, you can just go for another Phantom Force, and if you KO the Metagross, there's no way I can win the game. Fortunately for us, the Incineroar didn't have a Berry, and our Rock Slide and Snarl connected as well, so, I mean, that was wild. Yeah. I mean, Lunala, once again, really good to just, like, pick up the one-shot onto Zacian with Max Flare. I just, feel like I should have utilized it a little bit better. The Snarl, like, threw me off a little bit. And then really, really good Max Guard Spore play by my opponent, but, yeah. Lugia, hello. Okay. Not a Miltank day, huh? So Lunala day, though. We'll take that. I don't know. I'm kind of down for Whimsicott Lunala here, because I can just fake tier stuff with this thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. Metagross. Okay, shoutouts to Metagross in that last one. It put in a lot of work. I should bring Incineroar. There's no excuse not to. I just kind of want Hitmontop specifically for the Umbreon, which I feel like comes out here because I have Lunala Metagross. But then my late game damage is relying on Hitmontop and Incineroar and Whimsicott. Those are all too support oriented. It could work though. They don't have any dark resists after, well, they have Whimsicott and Lunala. What am I saying? But Metagross just like doesn't do damage here. I think I'm actually gonna go with Hitmontop. I know it seems weird. It doesn't feel great, to be honest, because by locking with these four, it means I have to play really, really well with Lunala. Like, it doesn't give me much room for error. That's kind of what happened in that last game, I guess, but my opponent, you know, made a slight misplay there in the end. Yeah, I don't know, with Incineroar in that position, they were probably Flare Blitzing, right? That makes more sense. But I don't think there's ever a reason to not go for Fake Out there. Okay, it's Whimsicott plus Umbreon. Well, not great for Lunala. Man, this was actually a Miltank game, I think. We could have got Hitmontop Miltank. The problem with Miltank is it just does a little damage. I'm down to Moonblast Umbreon turn 1 and honestly just Protect here. Let's just get damage onto this thing. Although it could just recover, I guess. That's part of the problem. What if I maxed Whimsicott? Is that crazy? Now their Whimsicott's not tailwinding. That's interesting. That's one bulky Umbreon. Alright, I'll take that. That's nice. And I'm guessing they're just doubling up. Maybe Moonblast Snarl here? No. Okay, sweet. So we baited out a lot of good damage turn 1. I was gonna say, if it's not leftovers, I was thinking maybe Max Airstream into Moonblast picks up the KO, but Umbreon's like probably the perfect counter to Lunala for my opponent right now. So they went Moonblast, foul play. I think we can switch into Incineroar here. I'm down to taunt into Whimsicott right now, so it can't go for anything else. Go into Incineroar. Because if Whimsicott, like... I feel like it probably tailwinds this turn. I don't know. If we can eliminate Umbreon, that actually paves the way for Lunala, though. So that's what we're looking for right now. Okay, we get the taunt off. That's good. We've gone first both times, so they might not be max speed, or we just got lucky with 2 speed ties. Yeah, it's another Moonblast. Okay, this time in a Whimsicott. That's fine. Huh. Umbreon is the one with taunt. Okay. Not by me, I guess. I mean, I want to just Moonblast Whimsicott here and Flare Blitz into it. Didn't expect Umbreon to have taunt there. Could have stayed in with Lunala. They made a nice prediction expecting me to switch. Okay, so it is just a speed side this whole time. Okay, we survive. Special attack drop, not great. We have him on top, though. Should KO Whimsicott. They hit Snarl. Is that KO? Ooh, Whimsicott survives. That's actually a really big deal. And that's because we got that special attack drop earlier. So that's huge because it means we could pivot Whimsicott out back in for a potential tailwind. We've seen Snarl, Foul Play, and Taunt so far from Umbreon. So Moonlight or Yawn. Yawn, in my opinion, if you're not using Yawn on Umbreon, you're throwing. Not actually, but I think Yawn is just a really good attack on it. And in my opinion, it's one of the primary reasons to use Umbreon. I think the main downside here is Umbreon being Dark-type, right? If it weren't Dark-type, I probably could have just gone, hey, Fake Tears Max Airstream after that turn 1 Moonblast, but the Dark-type really does not help us. Interesting, they bring out Cinderace, so Lugia should be their last one, right? Well, this is where having Hitmontop is actually great for us. I'm gonna double switch here, I think. Yeah. And then the thing is, now, by cycling and double Intimidate, if you Dynamax the Cinderace, like, that's great. The switching from Incin into Lunala is a little bit obvious. And I feel like Lunala is such a big carry that, like... I'm not sure it's right to actually switch it out here. I think Parting Shot this turn into Cinderace was the better play. Yeah, I think I got a little greedy with this one. We'll see if I get punished for it. We have Colbur, so it's not like that bad if Umbreon goes for a Dark-type attack, but I think Parting Shot was definitely a better play there. Because after Intimidate, Cinderace is definitely not KOing Incin, right? So, yeah, I think that was a slightly subpar play on my end. Parting Shot would have been great, get Cinderace even lower, and then I can get it to -3 attack by switching Incin back in for the Hitmontop. Well, they did Knuckle into... Ooh, okay. I switched it up incorrectly. Ah, that feels bad. Did not call that one right. Okay. If I had switched it the other way and wasted their Knuckle, it would have been so huge. Their Life Orb. Okay, they end up just taunting, though. Oh, so that actually would have covered for Parting Shot. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better about how that played out. Man, that Knuckle was so strong, though. They're fighting type right now. If you Knuckle again, you could max Darkness, like Foul Play Lunala. Coaching. No close combat here. So, like, I'm still struggling to deal damage to Umbreon, which is the problem. Because my opponent can just Knuckle into the Hitmontop slot right now. That's the problem. Okay, I mean, I could go into Incineroar here. Max. Airstream? We still haven't seen Yawn from Umbreon. I can't Protect because I'm taunted. They might have Max Darkness, but that would be okay with me because I have the Colbur. I don't think like Max Darkness into Foul Play KOs with our shield, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Umbreon's just a huge pain for us here. I just like don't have reliable damage into it, so I have to play very meticulously around it, but that's okay. Lunala's honestly been amazing for us today. I've been very pleased with its output, so I can't complain. Okay. And they just Knuckle again. Okay, I mean, that works for me. It's a lot of damage. It hurts, but now I get a super effective Max Airstream off into your Cinderace, and I heal back with Citrus Berry, and you haven't actually KO'd me yet, which is good. The thing is, I really need Lunala to deal with this potential Lugia in the end game, because, once again, like I said, the issue in what I brought here is that I just have no reliable damage output outside of Lunala. Man, Moonblast into Umbreon, that's a little bit helpful. It's very good damage. Now, I can Phantasm for a defense drop, and that's actually pretty critical, because then each defense drop adds up for Umbreon, because I have physical attackers right now. Yawn finally comes out, so yeah, it was there the whole time. Man, do I just take it? Say whatever? I know you have Yawn, but like, YOLO? Like, just attack anyway? Does Cinderace have Max Guard? That's the other question. I think I'm just gonna Phantasm Flare Blitz here. Let's see if they have Max Guard. They do. Oh. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, I'm sure I could switch Lunala out there, but most Cinderaces, like, I feel like don't run Max Guard, so like that was a bet I was willing to take there, but it does not pan out for us, unfortunately. And that is not gonna be good news. Okay, they're gonna Foul Play into the Colbur, though. I don't know. Can we get a quick Wake? Would that even make a difference? The real other issue is I don't get a defense drop onto Umbreon here. This Umbreon has just been such a nuisance. They should have Lugia in the back, which is also a problem, because my only way to deal with Lugia is basically via Lunala. We saw Knuckle Protect. Probably Fire, right? You can launch a safe fighting type attack into the Instant slot. I might just have to give up Instant here, honestly. At least we have another max turn with Lunala, which lets us survive for a little bit longer. Okay. I think I give up Instant to get him on top in so I can Mach Punch. I think I can just protect my Mach Punch. High Jump Kick. Miss? Oh! Okay. Okay. That might be some streamer luck right there, but we take those. Whittling away at Umbreon. I mean, hey, if we get a quick wake up with Lunala, I think we're still fine. Oh, that's way too much damage, though. I think I need a one-turn wake up, essentially. I mean, I could switch Lunala out now. But do what? Lugia should be my opponent's last one, yeah? Yep. Even with that crit, or sorry, even with that miss, I still don't think we win. Umbreon just counters Lunala way too hard, and we don't have other... Like, if we had a close combat on him on top, this would be a different story, but we don't. But the reason why him on top's really on this team is because it's designed to help Mill Tank. Metagross wouldn't have done much for us either. Yeah, we're just kind of... Umbreon's kind of like 1v6ing us, because we don't have close combat, unfortunately. Oh, let's not run. We need to wake up this turn to stand a shot, I think. Yeah, I mean, otherwise I can't do damage into Lugia, so let's see. Yeah, we don't stay. We stay asleep. I go for Aeroblast. Yep. I could have missed there. That would have been huge. Or for some reason they don't go for another foul play. The main issue was the Cinderace actually having Max Guard. Like, a lot of Cinderaces don't carry it these days, so I was like, you know, I'm willing to bet that it doesn't have it. If I read into that Max Guard, I could have switched Lunala out, and that could have given us a better shot. But the reality here is that we just didn't have any good late game offense, unfortunately. Like, this Umbreon's been out of the field the entire time, and I've just not been able to do anything into it. Turn 2 in this game, I could have made the read that my opponent wasn't going to double up onto Lunala again, and just max Lunala, and Moonblast Airstream. I think in retrospect, I'd actually rather just make that play. Because, yeah. That's what I would have done differently in this game. This Umbreon was too much of a nuisance, and I didn't take care of it, nor could I figure out a good solution to take care of it. But the reality is that Moonblast did 30% turn 1, right? Moonblast Airstream, sure, it doesn't KO Umbreon, but Umbreon had kept foul playing. They didn't go for Yawn onto Lunala, and that's really critical. So we actually would have been in really, really good shape, I think, had I gone for Moonblast Airstream onto Umbreon turn 2, and then turn 3 I can knock out Umbreon. Once Umbreon is down, my opponent is Lugia, Cinderace, and Whimsicott, and all of those fall to Lunala relatively easily. So I should have just prioritized KOing this as quickly as possible. I didn't see the best route to do so, but I think it was through Whimsicott and Lunala in the early game. So it's on me for not identifying that. Yeah, I don't really think we can do anything here at this point. And that's the downside of Lunala, right? Any Dark-type Pokemon's going to give you a lot of issues, especially because you don't actually do any damage into them in return. Like if Lunala had a Fairy-type attack, right? At least we can, do super effective damage. But the reality is in this matchup, it didn't. And so that made things a lot tougher. But that's okay. I'm pretty content with how these games played out. Game 2 was close. It was really close. I feel like we should have lost, but my opponent made a slight error in that endgame to allow us to claw back into it. This game, I needed to... This is a perfect example of a matchup where one Pokemon gives you so much trouble, so you need to identify it early enough that it gives you trouble and just try to KO it as quickly as possible. And I thought the start was good, but turn 2, I just needed to make a better play, in my opinion. Just double up straight into Umbreon. Look how bulky that is, though. Can't KO it by any means. That's tough. That's tough. But hey, it was a fun set of games, so I can't complain. Lunala was great today. Just got to support it a little bit better. And I think, like, this team is super fun. It just relies on either Miltank or Lunala. We didn't get to bring Miltank at all today, which is a little bit sad, especially because of the background that I ended up having. But the issue is by not... Like, Miltank is not a reliable late-game option, right? And I guess I could have brought it in this one, though. I could have got, like, Body Press into Umbreon. It gets wrecked by Cinderace. I don't think so. My opponent made really nice plays in the mid-game with Cinderace, too. They knuckled correctly every time into the right slot. Double knuckle into Max Guard was brilliant. I think the main thing I would have done differently this game, bring the same Pokemon, just try to knock out Umbreon in the first 3 turns of the game. So Moonblast Protect turn 1, Moonblast Airstream turn 2, and then they taunted. I would think Lunala outspeeds at +1 even if you get Tailwind up, so then we can just go for another Moonblast onto the Umbreon, Airstream into Whimsicott. That brings it down to its Sash. Now Lunala's at +2 speed. You have Lugia or Cinderace. I doubt that Cinderace had max Darkness, given that I had Protect as well. So I think all we needed to do in this matchup was actually KO Umbreon, and Lunala actually really sweeps in the end game, but unfortunately didn't do a good job of that in the early game. So this is the tough thing sometimes in team building when your opponent has one Pokemon can give you a lot of trouble. One adjustment that could be interesting, for example, like if I were editing this team and be like, oh, Dark types give me a lot of issue, is I think like just throwing Close Combat onto Hitmontop drastically changes how like this matchup would have gone as well over something like Wide Guard or Coaching. I know Coaching is used with that Miltank in conjunction, so maybe Wide Guard, but I feel like, if you're using something like Lunala, you really need to cover for Dark types. And having super effective damage definitely is a good start there. So, yeah. But regardless, I think this game should show, like, I didn't play the best route possible, and if I did, I think it would be a very different game, despite Umbreon being a troublesome, like, Pokemon to go up against. We actually had very good answers. Not very good answers. We had answers into it, but I didn't play towards that win condition well enough in the first 3 turns, and then I got kind of choked out because Umbreon just stayed on the field for forever afterwards. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. I really hope to get some Miltank action in the next episode, but this one was a lot of fun. So thanks so much as always for watching. Thank you to Main Event for the team. Check him out, linked in the description below. His YouTube channel is down there as well. Please go, go check him out. And yeah, thank you to you all as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoy, and I'll catch you all next time. All right, peace.